Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored by this invitation to present the keynote lecture at Carnegie Mellon, Qatar this morning. And I wish to thank everybody involved, and I thank yourselves as well, in the organization of the event. Since its inception in 1995, Qatar Foundation has grown and developed into a world-renowned organization that proudly reflects the vision of Qatar and what our country stands for. The Qatar Foundation brand is synonymous around the world with excellence, and it is recognized both in Qatar and globally for its achievement in its three strategic pillars: education, science and research, and community development. Students like yourselves that graduate from Qatar Foundation will be the future leaders. They will be the innovators, the entrepreneurs, and academics in Qatar, in the Middle East, and beyond. The opportunities that lie ahead are vast and varied. It may seem now that the future I speak of is a long way off, and you might be more concerned with more immediate obstacles and challenges that you face. But I have no doubt that the education you're receiving here is the ideal foundation to succeed in whichever field you focus on. What you're experiencing here at Carnegie Mellon and at Qatar Foundation is the realization of the innovation and pioneering spirit that Qatar as a nation has exemplified. This pioneering spirit is what convinced us that not only should we bid to host the FIFA World Cup in 2022, but that we were capable of winning. Our journey began in March 2009 when we declared our intention to bid to host the 2022 World Cup. FIFA at the time had opened up a bidding process for 2 World Cups simultaneously for the first time, both for 2018 and 2022. Most of the bidding nations, they hedged their bets by applying for both 2018 and 2022. We, on the other hand, took the decision to solely focus on 2022. We had done our homework, and we were clear and precise with our goals from the very beginning. We were aware that there was significant desire in the international football community for the 2018 event to be hosted in Europe. In addition to this, we were aware that our preparations would require those 4 extra years to build stadiums in line with FIFA's requirements and to ensure that Qatar's infrastructure was capable of hosting such a mega event, from transportation, networks, to a vast upgrade in accommodation, to providing facilities for officials, teams, players, and spectators. We had a strong conviction that we could win. And we approached the World Cup in a way unique among bidding nations. We approached it as more than just a football tournament, but with a lasting legacy that extended far beyond hosting an event. We viewed our bid not just as a Qatari bid, but a Middle Eastern one, encompassing all the countries of the region with benefits that would be felt throughout. Our region is often misrepresented and misunderstood, and holding an event of such magnitude would bring different peoples of different cultures and religions together in the Middle East, united in their shared passion for football. We urged FIFA and the international football community to envision the positive impact of bridging cultural gaps and increasing understanding between cultures through football. On an economic level, staging such an event would open the door to streamlining the development of a sporting industry in the Middle East, allowing it to reach to its true potential. Not to mention, of course, the cascading effect on other areas of the region's economy: tourism, hospitality, and of course encouraging young entrepreneurs, and that's just to name a few. We champion the right of smaller nations to host mega events such as the World Cup. Emerging nations committed to reform and development are best suited for truly maximizing the enormous potential that can be realized through hosting a World Cup. The event has the power to act as a catalyst in accelerating the progress that such nations commit to. And with this in mind, we knew that Qatar was an ideal candidate. That's of course not to say that we didn't face significant challenges. To give you an example that I'm sure most of you have already experienced, at the 2009 edition of Leaders in Football, one of the major conferences on the bidding circuit, our marketing team spent the majority of their time explaining to people where Qatar was on the map. And that was just one of the challenges that we faced. But we built a team that could overcome these obstacles through creativity, innovation, determination, and hard work. And I'm proud to say that of all the bidding nations, our team was undoubtedly the youngest, and in my personal opinion, the most innovative. Our youthful, multinational team of talented individuals work together 24 hours a day and 7 days a week to overcome the obstacles we face and transform these perceived challenges into opportunities and into selling points. Now, please allow me to outline some of our main selling points. In recent World Cups, fans followed their teams across large countries, booking different hotels and paying for expensive flights. Players mentioned that their energy levels were affected by the amount of travel between venues in such a short space of time. Now, this is the last thing the players and fans need. What we did, we created a unique concept. We created the concept of a compact World Cup. Fans will be able to see more than one game in a day. They'll be able to stay in the same accommodation for the duration of the tournament. Take a break, and they'll be able to experience any of the 40 countries that can be reached from Qatar within a flying time of 4 hours. Teams can stay in the same training camps throughout the entire tournament. Media and officials can easily navigate between different stadiums to cover different games. This unique concept, by the way, was tested during the 2011 AFC Asian Cup, and the reviews we received were overwhelmingly positive. So in effect, our small size became our biggest asset. We also came up with truly innovative climate solutions. The Jassim bin Hamad Stadium at Al Sadd Club has used cooling technologies since 2008. This first generation cooling technology uses generators to cool the stadium so it can be used at the height of summer. Our technical team brought this technology to the next level. Our bid presented a concept of second generation cooling technologies that utilized solar power to create clean energy that will cool our open air stadiums for the FIFA World Cup in 2022. And it's the same technology that will be utilized at the team training camps and in large open air fan zone areas to ensure that the fans who make the World Cup the spectacle that it is and always has been will have places to celebrate before, during, and after every match. We also wanted to avoid the white elephant issue. Now, for those of you who are not aware, white elephant is the term given to stadiums that are built for events and then left with no purpose when the event is finished. We conceived a plan that would see 9 of our 12 stadiums being built with modular components. On completion of the World Cup in 2022, we will downsize the stadiums and donate 170,000 seats to countries in need of sporting infrastructure. This will simultaneously create a genuine development legacy for FIFA and the football community, while also at the same time ensuring that Qatar is left with stadiums suitably sized for its needs. Qatar's central location was another significant advantage. 2 billion people reside within a 4-hour flight. Qatar is easily accessible from all over the world. And our ability to reach 3.2 billion viewers during primetime viewing was another key selling point that we offered FIFA, the broadcast partners, and more importantly, the fans all over the world. Our story, the core of our story, was that as an emerging nation, the FIFA World Cup would be an important catalyst for accelerating development. Football development being the most obvious. And this year, our predictions materialized. Although I have to say, a lot faster than we actually expected, with Al Sadd's incredible victory in the AFC Champions League and being third at the FIFA Club World Cup Championship in Japan. Now, of course, we face serious challenges. Challenges that were repeated by skeptics on and on. But I'm very proud to stand here today and to tell you that we did not back away from these issues, that we addressed them head on, that we turned obstacles into advantages, into opportunities, and we created a concept that convinced FIFA's executive committee that Qatar was the right place to host the World Cup in 2022, and that in bringing the World Cup to the Middle East for the first time, it was the right decision to make. We not only satisfied all of FIFA's requirements with new and innovative ideas, we also went beyond the standard requirements. We offered unique concepts and provided FIFA with the opportunity to allow the World Cup to be firmly embedded in the history of a nation and a region on many different levels. Our team exerted every effort to promote our bid selling points. We traveled across nations and continents, appearing at every single conference and event, promoting our selling points and letting people know what Qatar had to offer. I do genuinely believe that our campaign was one of the best in the history of bidding for the FIFA World Cup. And we didn't limit our outreach to nations with votes on the executive committee. In April 2010, we secured the unanimous backing of the Arab League's youth and sports ministers in Beirut, as well as the Arab football federations in Jeddah. We knew how important it was to have a foundation of local and regional support for a Middle East World Cup. And without it, it is unlikely we would have been able to achieve what we had achieved. Now, if you'll allow me, I'd like to share with you some of my own personal highlights from the bid journey. The first time that I felt momentum building in our side was when our team gave a presentation to the African Football Confederation's Congress in Angola in January 2010. We were given a standing ovation, and delegates told us that our bid was like nothing that they had seen before. The support we received there was especially welcome, coming as it did just months before the first African World Cup would take place, against all odds and under the harshest of glare of the international media. We supported and we encouraged Africa's dream, and in turn, our own dream of bringing the World Cup to the Middle East for the first time resonated with those delegates. Analysts began taking our bid a lot more seriously. And after Angola, we consistently ranked among the top 2 or 3 bids in discussions and analysis by bidding experts, again, owing both to our hard work and the innovative concepts that our bid presented. We, and much more importantly, our competitors knew that we had transformed from a rank outsider to a very serious contender. And it wasn't just the bid team that worked hard. The unity of local organizations and of the people of Qatar behind our bid was manifested most clearly in September of 2010, when FIFA's inspection team landed in Doha. Coordinating, I'm sure as most of you would know, between a wide range of local government agencies and institutions was never going to be easy at the best of times, let alone during the Eid holidays. But I'm very proud to say that our nation came together. Everything worked seamlessly, and FIFA's inspection team left with a lasting impression of Qatar's ambition and the unanimous support the bid received from Qatar's population. And this sentiment, by the way, is still mentioned to us today in our meetings with FIFA officials. Now, most of you here, probably everyone here, is aware of what happened on December 2nd when FIFA's president pulled Qatar's name from the envelope on the stage in Zurich. And many people would assume that this was my proudest moment. Now, while certainly it was a special moment, for me the proudest moment, in all honesty, was addressing our bid team the night before the final decision. On December 1st, we gave a final presentation to FIFA. Our presentation was unique on many levels, but it kept one issue in clear focus. This was a World Cup, and we ensured in our final presentation that it addressed the entire world. We captivated our audience, and the presentation represented our entire approach to the bidding process. With meticulous planning, we covered all the angles, and we surprised our global audience. We presented in a mixture of Arabic, French, Spanish, and English, addressing the multilingual makeup of FIFA's executive committee. We explained our bidding concept in a visually captivating way. And we didn't just throw big names on the stage as was expected. Zinedine Zidane, for example, was present in the audience but was not part of the presentation. We opted for a completely different approach. An approach personified by an Iraqi student who received a scholarship to study at Education City, who stood on the stage with us and told the committee members of the unifying power of football in his nation. When the Iraqi team won the Asian Cup in 2007, and a nation experiencing severe internal strife united through the power of football. And our bidding journey was brought together at the conclusion of the presentation with Her Highness Sheikh Hamoza asking a very simple question. When will it be time for the Middle East to host the World Cup? And she answered the question, telling the Executive Committee and the global audience that the time is now. The pride and passion on display that night was overwhelming. And I told our team that no matter what happened the following day, we should be immensely proud of what we had already achieved. The same night I received a message from an individual in Qatar whom I deeply respect, and that message will remain with me for the rest of my life. The message read, if we don't win, it's not that we lost the bidding for the World Cup, it's that the World Cup would have lost us. And as I said, that emotion will remain with me for the rest of my life. I won't forget also turning on our televisions in the hotel and seeing the thousands who turned out in the streets and Souk Waqif to watch the final presentation, to watch the final decision. The local support that we received from all of Qatar's various cultures, all of its various nationalities, was phenomenal and was unprecedented, and was the foundation that our success was built upon. The outpouring support of locals, expats who've lived here for 20 years, newcomers to the country, was vindication of what we told the world throughout the entire bidding process. Now, since winning the bid, many of you will be aware of some of the issues that we've had to deal with, and will no doubt continue to have to deal with over the next 10 years. We approached these challenges like we did the bidding process. We did not hide. We approached them head on. We approached them with integrity, ethics, and honesty, and we will continue to do so. In many ways, our winning the right to host the World Cup is akin to your coming graduation from university. A great achievement, certainly an important milestone, but one that after the celebrations are over and the gowns are put in storage, you will realize is just the beginning of a long journey. For ourselves, the next phase of our journey has already begun. We're appointing a program management company to work with our committee to develop a master schedule, among other things, to ensure that the infrastructure projects are delivered on time and to provide contingency plans if any of the projects fall behind schedule. This appointment is an important one, and we have worked extremely hard and diligently over the past year to ensure that we have the right partner. We're also forging ahead and working with local partners. And with that spirit, I'm happy to inform you that later today, as the Dean had mentioned, we will sign a memorandum of understanding with your university, Carnegie Mellon, Qatar. We are pledging to work together in fields of scientific research and strategic studies, in training for executive leadership and cooperation in training, and encouraging students to be part of the projects that will make the FIFA World Cup in 2022 a success. As I noted earlier, you are the leaders of tomorrow. By the time 2022 comes around, many of you will be part of the event, whether directly or indirectly. The World Cup will draw the finest talent from Qatar, from the Middle East, and from the world to deliver a sporting spectacle that will leave its mark on history. Our nation's success in winning the rights to 2022 World Cup is evidence that with commitment to your beliefs and with commitment to your dreams, anything is possible, no matter what your detractors may say or the obstacles that may lie ahead of you. We live in a world that is changing rapidly. New powers are competing with the traditional powers, and our region is undergoing significant change. And it is the dynamism of youth that is behind much of this change. All of you, the leaders of tomorrow, have the chance to grasp the opportunities that lie ahead of you. You are representatives of Qatar. You are representatives of the Middle East. You are representatives of the world, and it is vital that throughout your lives you remember that with the opportunities that you have been granted also comes responsibility. And when facing inevitable challenges that lie ahead of you, do not allow yourselves to be sidetracked. Act with ethics, integrity, dignity, honesty. Hold your values close to you, and I have no doubt that you will all be successful.